The importance of restaurants to the community is almost too hard to even put a number behind. And I think the pandemic really showed us that, because when all of a sudden restaurants had to close their doors and we didn't have a place to go and gather, we realized how critical they are, not only as an employer, but as providing a taste of cultures, diversity in the community, jobs for people. Restaurants are vital to the vibrancy of all of our communities.
My name is Mina Park. My husband, Kwang, and I, we have a restaurant called Shiku in Grand Central Market in downtown LA. We have a son, a 2.5-year-old son, Taehoon. We actually met in Korea, so we met at a Buddhist temple. I went to the temple for the cooking. My husband was there actually for 6 months, and he was living there helping the nun. So yes, my husband and I came together because we love food, we met through food, and we continue to work together in food. Shiku is a Korean word that literally means the people that you share food with. So we use the word Shiku to mean your family, not just the family you're born into, but the family that you create, so your community.
It is more like a Korean traditional food, a little bit of like a modern touch or kind of LA kind of ingredients.
Because it was so difficult during the pandemic, we were still starting as a new restaurant, so it was very difficult to kind of get off the ground. So we had our eyes and ears open for any kind of support. Also, the restaurant community in LA, there were coalitions forming, spreading information. We found out about Restaurant Cares through one of the restaurant coalitions.
My name's Alicia Harshfield, and I'm the executive director of the California Restaurant Foundation, and we work with restaurants. Our foundation has been around since 1981, and we care for the people that are at the heart of our restaurant community. The Restaurants Care Resilience Fund is a fund to provide direct grants to small independent restaurants to help them thrive, grow, and rebound from the pandemic. We've been really fortunate over the years to partner with SoCalGas, and when the pandemic occurred, they came to us and said, "We want to do more. What can we do together?" And that is how we collaborated and created the Resilience Fund to take care of 318 restaurants in California and 132 restaurants in Los Angeles County.
It was just such a difficult time financially for us and for so many restaurants that when I found out that we actually got the grant, your heart just sort of explodes a little bit. But it was also just knowing that there were people out there who cared whether or not our restaurant survived. The grant really helped us take care of not only our own family and our son, but also our team. Many of our team live with their own families, their parents, or their own children, and so by being able to provide them a decent hourly wage with some benefits, they're able to take care of their own families. And that first layer really is our team. So we were really heartened by the fact that there were big companies that really were trying to take care of customers like us. So SoCalGas supported the grant financially, but also they provided resources to all of the restaurants that were able to get this grant. For example, we could get discounts on equipment through SoCalGas, and then actually Restaurant Care set up this monthly program where we would meet virtually all together, and they would provide information from different experts in our industry to help us improve our business and to help us survive.
Stories like Mina's are just one of the 318 of the restaurants that we helped, and it's really a story about resilience. And that's why our fund is called the Resilience Fund, because it takes so much to open up a restaurant in the first place, and to come through this pandemic takes a lot of extra grit and determination, and that's what these restaurants have, and that they displayed through this entire process.
We should try our best to feed people and then make them happy. So yeah, that's kind of main goal.
Well, if I could say anything to the providers of the grant and SoCalGas, I would really say thank you for providing a light during a very dark time. But it was also this community that they created through that program. So, I could see there were other small business owners, people of color, many of us, immigrant families who were trying to survive this pandemic. And knowing that we were kind of in the same boat, but also being able to know that people cared about us, people are trying to help us, was so meaningful.
This grant has empowered so many of the restaurant owners and their staff, because this was the lowest time ever for them. And it was a chance to say, we hear you, we care about you, we want you to get through this. And they felt very empowered and, again, heard, and that someone believed in them.
All of this really ties back to the meaning of Shiku. So we refer to our team as our Shiku. They're our family that we've created, and every day we try to think about how we can live up to the name that we gave the restaurant.
The restaurants that received a grant from the Resilience Fund employ over 3,100 people. When you think about the ripple effect, think about the families that are touched by the fact that they have someone who works for a restaurant, and if we could help them keep their doors open and retain their staff, we did a really good thing.